I thought I knew what love meant. For 3 years I waited for Sarah, the woman I believed was my future wife. She told me we needed to wait until marriage because of her religious beliefs, and I respected that. I honored her wishes, stayed faithful, and built my entire life around the promise of our future together. I thought our connection was deeper than physical attraction, that we were building something sacred. I believed every word she said about her faith, her values, and her commitment to us, until I discovered the truth that shattered everything. Before I continue with what happened next, I would love to know where you are watching from. Drop your country or city in the comments below. And if you have ever trusted someone completely only to discover they were living a lie, this story is for you. Please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, because what I am about to share shows exactly how I went from being devastated to taking back control of my life. You will not want to miss how this ends. Let me take you back to where it all began. I was 25 years old when I met Sarah at a local coffee shop in Portland, Oregon. It was a crisp autumn morning, the kind where the leaves crunch under your feet and the air smells like rain and fresh coffee. I had just grabbed my usual black coffee and was heading out when I literally bumped into her. She smiled, and something about that smile made me forget I had just spilled coffee on my jacket. We started talking right there in line. She ordered some complicated drink with oat milk and extra foam, and we laughed about how coffee orders say a lot about a person. She was a marketing coordinator for a tech startup downtown, and I worked as an architect for a small firm, specializing in sustainable buildings. We talked about books, our favorite hiking trails, and our dreams of traveling to places we had only seen in photographs. By the time we exchanged phone numbers, I already knew I wanted to see her again. Those first few months were incredible. We went to dinner at food trucks downtown, caught late-night movies, and drove out to the Columbia River Gorge to hike on weekends. Sarah told me about growing up in a strict Christian household in the South, how her family valued tradition and faith above everything else. She shared stories about her childhood, her parents, and the church community that shaped her. I found myself falling for her authenticity, or at least what I thought was authenticity. Everything felt right, natural. Like we were meant to find each other in that coffee shop on that random Tuesday morning. 3 months into our relationship, things started getting more serious. We had started spending nearly every evening together, cooking dinner at my apartment or hers, talking about our future, making plans. One night we were sitting on my couch, and the conversation turned toward what we both wanted long-term. That is when Sarah got quiet, and I could tell she had something important on her mind. She turned to face me, her expression serious in a way I had not seen before. "Cody, I need to tell you something important about my beliefs," she said. Her hands were folded in her lap, and I could see she was nervous. "I have made a commitment to wait until marriage. It is not just about religion, it is about honoring myself and the person I will marry. My faith means everything to me. I will not lie. I was surprised. I had dated before, and nobody had ever asked me to wait that long. I sat there processing what she had just said, running through every possible response in my head. Could I do this? Was I willing to wait years potentially for physical intimacy? I looked into her eyes and saw genuine conviction there, something I respected even if I did not fully understand it. "If you are worth the wait, then I will wait," I finally said. Her face lit up and she wrapped her arms around me. "This means everything to me," she whispered. "You are different from other guys, Cody. Most men would have walked away. Our connection is deeper than physical. That is what makes us special." I felt proud in that moment. Proud that I was the kind of man who could respect her boundaries, who valued her enough to be patient. I told myself that what we were building would be stronger because of this foundation. The first year was actually beautiful. We traveled to San Francisco, spent a weekend in Seattle, and took a road trip down the Oregon coast. I met her parents when they flew up to visit, and they seemed to genuinely like me. Her father, a stern man with graying hair and a firm handshake, told me he appreciated that I attended church with Sarah on Sundays. Her mother made me her famous pecan pie and hugged me goodbye like I was already family. My friends, though, were not as understanding. Jake, my best friend since college, raised his eyebrows every time I mentioned the waiting. 3 years. "Man, that is crazy," he said one night over beers. Are you sure about this? I defended my decision every time. Real love is not just about physical stuff, I would say. We are building something that will last. I was so convinced. I started saving money for an engagement ring, imagining the proposal, picturing our wedding day. I thought about the house we would buy, the kids we might have, the life we would build together. Every sacrifice felt worth it because I believed in us. The second year brought subtle changes. Sarah got busier at work. Her startup was growing fast, bringing in major clients and expanding their team. She started working late more often, missing some of our dinner plans. "I am sorry, babe," she would text. "Big project at work. I will make it up to you." I told myself to be understanding. She was building her career, and I should support that. But there were moments when I felt a distance growing between us, like I was competing with her job for her attention. We argued a few times, small disagreements about missed dates and broken promises. She would apologize and I would forgive her, pushing down the nagging feeling that something was shifting. I brought up the idea of getting engaged near the end of that second year. We were at dinner, a nice Italian place downtown, and I reached across the table to take her hand. "I have been thinking," I said. "Maybe it is time we start planning for our future. You know, making it official." She pulled her hand back gently, her smile not quite reaching her eyes. "Let us wait a bit more," she said. "I want to be more established in my career first. I want to be able to contribute equally when we start our life together." I swallowed my disappointment and nodded. "Sure," I said. "Whenever you are ready." But the truth was, I was starting to feel like I was chasing something that kept moving further away. The third year was when everything started unraveling, though I could not see it clearly at the time. Sarah began mentioning a new colleague constantly. Marcus, the new vice president of sales at her company. "Marcus closed a $5 million deal today," she would say over the phone. "Marcus is taking the team to this amazing new restaurant downtown. Marcus thinks I should apply for the senior marketing position." At first I tried not to be jealous. She was allowed to have colleagues to be excited about work. But the frequency of his name in her conversations started eating at me. "Who is this Marcus guy?" I asked one evening, trying to keep my tone casual. "Oh, he is great," she said, her face lighting up in a way that made my stomach twist. "Really successful, super driven. He is teaching me a lot about negotiating with high-level clients." The distance between us grew wider. She spent more time at corporate dinners and networking events. When we did see each other, she seemed distracted, checking her phone, constantly laughing at messages I could not see. I tried everything to reconnect. I planned surprise dates, brought her favorite flowers, left thoughtful notes at her apartment. She would thank me, but it felt mechanical, like she was going through the motions. One night, about 3 years into our relationship, she told me she needed space. "I need to focus on my career right now," she said. "Can we just take a week or so without talking? I need to clear my head." My heart sank, but I agreed. "Sure," I said, trying to sound supportive even though I felt like I was losing her. "Take all the time you need." That week turned into 2 weeks of minimal contact. Short texts, missed calls, excuses about being busy. I felt like I was drowning, grasping at something that was already gone. But I held on to hope, believing that if I just waited a little longer, she would come back to me. After all, I had already waited 3 years. What was a few more weeks, I had no idea that during those weeks of silence, my entire world was about to collapse. It was a Tuesday evening, 2 weeks after Sarah had asked for space, when my phone rang. Jake's name flashed on the screen, and something about the way it rang felt urgent. I picked up immediately. "Cody, we need to talk," Jake said. His voice was tight, uncomfortable. "It is about Sarah." My chest tightened. "What happened? Is she okay?" "She is fine, but man, I do not know how to say this." There was a long pause, and I could hear him breathing heavily on the other end. "I was at this tech networking event downtown tonight. I saw her." "Okay," I said slowly, not understanding why this was a problem. "She goes to those all the time." "She was not alone, Cody. She was with some guy. They were—" He paused again, really close, holding hands, kissing. The words hit me like a physical blow. I could not breathe for a moment. "You are sure it was her? Maybe it just looked like her." "I am positive," Jake said quietly. "I saw them leave together." The guy was driving a brand new Mercedes. Black. Expensive. He was wearing a suit that probably cost more than my rent. My mind raced. Sarah had mentioned going to an event tonight. She had texted me briefly that afternoon saying she would be busy. I had not thought anything of it. What did the guy look like, I asked, though part of me already knew. Tall, built like he spends time in the gym, slicked back hair. Rolex watch. The kind of guy who looks like he owns the room, Jake said. I am sorry, brother. I had to tell you. After I hung up, I sat in my apartment staring at the wall. My hands were shaking. Part of me wanted to believe there was an explanation that Jake had misunderstood what he saw. But deep down I knew. All those mentions of Marcus, all the late nights, all the distance, it all made sense now. I tried calling Sarah. It went straight to voicemail. I sent a text asking if we could talk. No response. I waited an hour then, two, my anxiety building with each passing minute. Finally, I could not take it anymore. I grabbed my keys and drove to her office building downtown. I parked in the lot and waited. The sun had set, and the streetlights cast long shadows across the pavement. I felt sick to my stomach, hoping I was wrong, praying this was all some terrible misunderstanding. Then I saw them. Sarah walked out of the building laughing, and next to her was a man who matched Jake's description perfectly. Marcus. He was tall, probably 6'2", with broad shoulders, and an expensive charcoal suit that fit him like it had been tailored specifically for his frame. His hair was styled with some kind of product that made it shine under the lights, and even from a distance I could see the glint of a watch on his wrist that probably cost more than my car. But what killed me was the way Sarah looked at him. Her face was animated alive in a way I had not seen in months. He said something, and she laughed, tilting her head back. Then he casually placed his hand on the small of her back, guiding her toward the parking lot. It was intimate, familiar. The gesture of someone who had done it 1,000 times before. I got out of my car. Sarah, I called out. She froze. Her head whipped around and I watched her face drain of color. Cody, what are you doing here? Marcus turned, looking at me with barely concealed annoyance. Who is this? He asked, his voice smooth and confident, the kind of voice that was used to getting what it wanted. Sarah looked between us, panic clear in her eyes. This is we need to talk, Marcus. Give me a minute. Marcus glanced at his expensive watch with exaggerated impatience. Fine, he said. I will be in the car. He walked away without even looking at me again, like I was beneath his notice. I stepped closer to Sarah. How long, I asked, my voice surprisingly steady, despite the fact that my entire world was crumbling. How long have you been seeing him? She would not meet my eyes. It is not what you think. Jake saw you kissing him, I said. Do not lie to me, Sarah. Not after 3 years. She was quiet for a long moment. Then quietly she said, It just happened. Marcus and we connected. He understands my ambitions, my career goals. He can offer me things that I cut her off. So it was never about religion. It was about finding someone richer. She finally looked up at me, and I saw something in her eyes I had never seen before. Guilt, yes, but also defensiveness. Marcus is successful, Cody. He is going places. We want the same things out of life. I felt like I had been punched in the gut. And what about me? What about the 3 years I waited? The 3 years you made me believe we were building something based on your faith and values. She did not answer. How long have you been sleeping with him? I asked, needing to know, even though the answer would destroy me. She looked down at her shoes. 2 months. 2 months. After 3 years of making me wait, telling me it was about her religious convictions, her sacred beliefs, she had thrown it all away for a guy with money in less than 2 months. We are done, I said, my voice breaking. Do not contact me again. I turned and walked back to my car before she could see the tears starting to fall. I did not look back. I could not. The drive home was a blur. I do not even remember getting on the highway or pulling into my parking spot. When I got inside my apartment, everything reminded me of her. The photos on my bookshelf of us hiking in the gorge, the coffee mug she always used when she stayed over, the blanket she had given me for my birthday still folded on the back of my couch. I could not sleep that night. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw them together. I replayed every moment of our relationship, trying to figure out where it went wrong, what I could have done differently. Was I not successful enough? Not ambitious enough? Had I been naive to believe in her? Over the next few days, Sarah tried to contact me. She called repeatedly until I blocked her number. She sent texts that I deleted without reading. Then a week after our confrontation, one message got through before I could delete it. Marcus proposed. I said yes. I wanted you to hear it from me. I sat on my couch staring at those words until they blurred. She had moved on in a week. 3 years of my life reduced to nothing. The following weeks were the darkest of my life. I could not focus at work. My boss, a kind woman named Patricia, noticed immediately. "Cody, is everything all right?" she asked one afternoon when I had zoned out during a meeting. "Just some personal stuff," I mumbled. "Take a few days off," she said gently. "Get your head straight. We will manage." I did take time off, but it did not help. I stopped eating properly. Food tasted like cardboard. I lost 12 pounds in 2 weeks without even trying. My sleep schedule was destroyed. I would lie awake until 3 or 4 in the morning, then drag myself out of bed at noon feeling worse than when I had laid down. Jake came over almost every day. He brought takeout food, made me eat, forced me to shower when I had not left the couch in 2 days. "You cannot let her destroy you, man," he said. "She did not deserve you." Another friend, Tyler, took me to the gym. "You need to hit something," he said, handing me boxing gloves. "Channel that anger into something productive." But the worst part was not the anger. It was the self-doubt. I kept thinking that maybe if I had been more successful, made more money, been more like Marcus, she would have stayed. Maybe I was not good enough. Maybe 3 years of my devotion meant nothing because I could not offer her the lifestyle Marcus could. 1 month after the breakup, I was still a mess. But something shifted in me that morning. I woke up, looked at myself in the mirror, and barely recognized the person staring back. My eyes were hollow. I had stubble. I had not bothered to shave. I looked defeated. "This ends today," I said out loud to my reflection. "I am taking my life back." The first thing I did was clean house, literally and metaphorically. I spent an entire Saturday going through my apartment, removing every trace of Sarah. Photos went into a box in the closet. Gifts she had given me got donated to Goodwill. I changed my sheets, rearranged my furniture, bought new towels. I needed my space to feel like mine again, not like a shrine to a relationship that had been built on lies. I blocked her on every social media platform. I changed my phone number so she could not contact me, even if she tried. I needed a clean break, no possibility of her worming her way back into my life with apologies or explanations. She had made her choice. Now I was making mine. Work became my focus. When Patricia asked if I was ready to come back, I told her I wanted to take on the most challenging project available. She raised an eyebrow, but assigned me to a commercial complex design that had been sitting on the back burner because nobody wanted to tackle its complexity. I dove into it with everything I had. I stayed late at the office, refining designs, researching sustainable materials, perfecting every detail. It felt good to pour my energy into something constructive, something I could control. 3 months later, I presented the design to the client. They loved it. Patricia pulled me aside afterward. "That was exceptional work, Cody," she said. "I am recommending you for promotion to senior architect." The promotion came through a month later, complete with a significant raise. For the first time in months, I felt proud of myself. I had not just survived the breakup. I was thriving in spite of it. But it was not just about work. Jake had been pushing me to take care of my physical health too. We started hitting the gym together 5 days a week. At first, I could barely bench press the bar. But slowly I got stronger. The physical exertion helped clear my mind. When I was lifting weights or running on the treadmill, I could not think about Sarah. I could only focus on my breathing, my form pushing through one more rep. 6 months after the breakup, I barely recognized myself. I had gained back the weight I had lost, but it was muscle instead of the softer build I had before. My shoulders were broader. My arms actually filled out my shirt sleeves. But more than the physical changes, I felt different mentally. Stronger, more confident. like I had shed not just Sarah, but all the self-doubt she had left me with. Jake convinced me to join a local hiking club. "I need you to stop hiding in your apartment on weekends," he said. "Get out there. Meet new people." I was hesitant at first. The idea of being social, of potentially meeting women, felt exhausting. But I went to one meetup, then another. The group was friendly, welcoming. We hiked trails all over Oregon and Washington places. I had been with Sarah, but that felt new now with different people. It was on one of these hikes, a trip up to Mount Hood on a crisp Saturday morning, that I met Emma. She was a freelance photographer carrying a professional camera and stopping every few minutes to capture the way sunlight filtered through the pine trees. She had short black hair completely different from Sarah's long brown waves and an easy smile that seemed genuine. We ended up hiking together, falling into conversation naturally. She asked what I did for work, and when I told her about architecture, her eyes lit up. "I love how buildings interact with their environment," she said. "It is like photography in 3 dimensions." By the time we reached the summit, we had exchanged Instagram handles. Her feed was full of stunning landscape photos, urban shots, candid moments of life that she had captured. Over the next few weeks, we grabbed coffee a couple times. There was no pressure, no expectations, just 2 people getting to know each other. Emma, I found out, had been through her own heartbreak a year earlier. Her ex-fiancé had cheated on her with her cousin of all people. So she understood pain, betrayal, the process of rebuilding. When I finally opened up about Sarah, Emma listened without judgment. "She did not see your worth," Emma said simply. "Her loss." What I appreciated most about Emma was that she did not try to rush anything. After our 4th coffee date, she said, "I am not in a rush, Cody. Let us just see where this goes. No pressure." That honesty was refreshing. With Sarah, I had always felt like I was chasing something, trying to prove myself worthy. With Emma, I just felt like myself. We talked about our work, our passions, our dreams. She was curious about my architectural projects, asking thoughtful questions about design philosophy and sustainable building. I loved hearing about her photography, the way she saw the world through her lens. 3 months after we met, we made it official. Jake and Tyler met her at a barbecue at my place, and I could see the approval in their eyes. "She is a genuine man," Jake told me later. "I am happy for you." For the first time since Sarah, I felt truly happy. Not the anxious, walking on eggshells feeling I had toward the end with her. This was peaceful, stable, real. 1 year after my breakup with Sarah, I had completely transformed my life. My career was thriving. I was in the best shape of my life. I had genuine friendships and a healthy relationship with someone who respected me from day one. I had not just recovered from the betrayal. I had become someone stronger because of it. Then Sarah tried to come back. It was a random Thursday when the email arrived. I had stopped checking my blocked folder months ago, but something made me look that day. There it was, from Sarah's email address. The subject line read, "Please read this. I need to talk." I almost deleted it without opening it. Almost. But some part of me needed closure, needed to know what she could possibly have to say after a year of silence. So I clicked it open. "Cody," the email began. "I made the biggest mistake of my life." Marcus was not who I thought he was. He was controlling, obsessed with appearances, only cared about how I made him look to his business partners. He called off the engagement 3 months ago. Said I was not sophisticated enough for his circles, that I was embarrassing him at corporate events. He threw away our relationship like it meant nothing. I realize now what I lost when I lost you. You truly loved me, Cody. You respected me. You waited for me. Marcus only wanted me as an accessory. I was so blinded by his money, his status, that I could not see what actually mattered. Can we meet? I want to explain everything. I still love you. I read the email 3 times. Part of me, a small part, felt vindicated. She had gotten exactly what she deserved. Marcus had used her and thrown her away just like she had done to me. Karma was real. But mostly I felt nothing. No anger, no satisfaction, no desire to respond. She was part of a past I had moved on from. I showed the email to Emma that evening. We were cooking dinner together at my place, something that had become our routine. She read it, then looked at me. "What do you want to do?" "I want to meet her," I said. "Not because I want her back, but because I need to close that chapter completely. I need her to hear face to face that I have moved on. Emma nodded. Do what you need for closure. I trust you. That trust meant everything to me. Sarah had never trusted me like that, always questioning, always suspicious. Emma understood that sometimes you need to face your past to fully embrace your future. I agreed to meet Sarah at a cafe downtown, a neutral public place. When I arrived, she was already there, sitting at a corner table. She looked different. Her hair was not as well maintained as it used to be. Her face looked tired, older somehow. She was still beautiful objectively, but the confidence she used to carry was gone. Thank you for meeting me, she said as I sat down. Her voice was small, uncertain. What do you want, Sarah? I kept my tone neutral, not cruel but not warm either. She took a deep breath. I was stupid, Cody. I chose money over real love. Marcus showed me what actually matters, and it is what we had, what we could have again. Can we start over? I will prove I have changed. She reached across the table to take my hand. I pulled it back. Sarah, you did not just make a mistake, I said calmly. You lied to me for 3 years about your values, your faith, your commitment. You made me wait while claiming religious reasons, then slept with someone else within months because he had more money. That is not a mistake. That is who you are. Her eyes filled with tears. I have changed. Please, Cody, I am seeing someone now, I said. Someone who respects me from day one. Someone who does not make me prove my worth or jump through hoops. Someone genuine. I am happy, Sarah. Happier than I ever was with you. I stood up. I hope you find what you are looking for, but it is not me. Goodbye, Sarah. For real this time. I walked out of that cafe and did not look back. I heard her crying behind me, but I kept walking. She had made her choices. Now she had to live with them. Outside, I called Emma. It is over, I said. Completely over. Want to grab dinner tonight? She laughed on the other end of the line. I would love that. As I drove away from that cafe, I felt lighter than I had in years. The ghost of Sarah, the what-ifs, and the regrets were finally gone. I was free. That first month after Sarah asked me to wait had been difficult in ways I could not have predicted. The depression hit hard. I felt directionless, like I had built my entire identity around being Sarah's devoted boyfriend, and now I did not know who I was supposed to be. But therapy helped. Jake had suggested it, and at first I was resistant. I am fine, I had said. I just need time. You are not fine, Jake had replied bluntly. And there is no shame in getting help. So I found a therapist, a woman named Dr. Martinez, who specialized in relationship trauma. In our first session, she asked me to describe what I was feeling. Betrayed, I said. Used. Like 3 years of my life meant nothing. It was not about you, she said gently. It was about her choices, her inability to be honest, to honor her commitments. That says nothing about your worth. Over the following months, those sessions helped me process the betrayal in healthier ways. I learned that forgiveness was not about excusing Sarah's behavior. It was about releasing the hold her actions had over my emotional well-being. I forgave her not because she deserved it, but because I deserved peace. My friends became my foundation during that time. Jake and Tyler were there for every breakdown, every moment when I doubted myself. Real friends show up when you are broken, not just when you are fun to be around. They showed up. Work became my therapy too. Pouring energy into my architectural projects gave me purpose. When my design won a regional award, my boss nominated me for a national industry recognition. Standing on that stage, accepting the award, I realized Sarah had not broken me. She had revealed my strength. I reconnected with parts of myself I had abandoned during our relationship. I picked up my guitar again, the one that had been gathering dust in my closet because Sarah always said she did not like the sound. I played for hours, my fingers remembering chords, my voice finding melodies I had forgotten. It felt like coming home to myself. I took a solo trip to Colorado, spent a week hiking and camping in the Rocky Mountains. The solitude was healing. I journaled every evening, writing out my thoughts, my fears, my hopes. I learned to be comfortable with my own company, to find joy in silence and solitude. By the time Emma came into my life, I was whole again. That was crucial. She did not fix me or complete me. She enhanced a happiness I had already built for myself. Our relationship was healthy because I did not need her. I chose her, and she chose me. Looking back now, 2 years after that devastating confrontation in the parking lot, I can see the lessons clearly. Sarah talked constantly about faith and values, but her actions revealed the truth. I learned to watch what people do, not what they say. Someone who truly respects you will not make you prove your worth for years. Red flags are not suggestions. They are warnings. I also learned not to lose myself in relationships. During my time with Sarah, I had given up hobbies, spent less time with friends, molded myself into who I thought she wanted me to be. Healthy relationships happen between two complete individuals who choose each other, not two people trying to fill each other's voids. The biggest lesson was about knowing my worth. Those 3 years of waiting had made me doubt myself, made me think I had to earn Sarah's love through patience and sacrifice. But the truth was simple. I was always enough. She was the one who was not enough for me. Betrayal reveals character, and Sarah's betrayal showed me exactly who she was. Some people will always choose what looks good over what is good. They will chase money, status, and superficial success while abandoning genuine connection. I could not control her choices. I could only control my response. And I chose to move forward, to rebuild, to become someone stronger. I learned that happiness is internal. I thought Sarah was my happiness, but she was not. True happiness comes from within. Relationships just add to it. By the time I met Emma, I had built such a solid foundation of self-worth and contentment that our relationship became a bonus, not a necessity. Today, Emma and I are still together. We moved in together 6 months ago, and we talk about marriage, but we are not rushing. This time it feels right, natural. There are no games, no tests, no hoops to jump through. We are just two people who respect and love each other, building a life together at a pace that works for us. My career continues to thrive. Last month I was promoted again, this time to lead architect. I mentor younger architects in our firm, teaching them not just about design, but about integrity, about doing work you can be proud of. My relationships with Jake, Tyler, and my other friends are stronger than ever. I make time for them, prioritize those connections, because they held me together when I was falling apart. I even reconnected with my family in ways I had neglected during my relationship with Sarah. My parents noticed the change in me. "You seem lighter," my mom said during our last video call. "Happier." "I am," I told her, "because I learned what I will not accept. I learned my worth." As for Sarah, I heard through mutual acquaintances that she is still single, still looking for that next wealthy partner who will give her the lifestyle she thinks she deserves. I genuinely wish her well. I hold no bitterness, no resentment. She taught me valuable lessons about what I want and what I will never tolerate again. Sometimes the worst betrayals lead to the best transformations. I do not regret those 3 years with Sarah. They taught me what real love is not. They showed me the difference between someone who says they love you and someone who actually does. They revealed my own strength, my capacity to rebuild, my ability to choose myself when someone else chooses to walk away. If you are going through something similar right now, if someone has betrayed your trust or made you question your worth, I want you to know this. The pain is temporary, but the lessons and the person you become, that is, forever. Do not let anyone's inability to love you make you question your value. You deserve someone who chooses you every single day, not just when it is convenient. You deserve honesty, respect, and genuine love. Never settle for less. Have you ever been in a situation where someone made you wait or made you prove yourself only to betray you in the end? Drop your story in the comments below. I read every single one, and your experience might help someone else who is struggling right now. And if this story resonated with you, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Share this video with someone who needs to hear that they are worthy of real love. Thank you for listening to my story, and I hope it reminds you that you are stronger than any betrayal. You will get through this, and you will come out better on the other side. Take care of yourself, And remember that your worth is not determined by how someone else treated you. Stay strong.